Okay, let's look at study question 1. When would you nest if statements, and when would you rely on else if statements? So we rely on if statement if we just have second tile was different from the first tile and you want to find different codes. But if you want to nest it if it's the second criteria within, you need a little more information. Okay, and write the code to find parcels that have a land use code of A1 and note whether the acreage is less than 2 acres, from 2 to 5 acres, or more than 5 acres, and additional code to find parcels with a land use code B1 and perform the same test for area. So this is for type A, and this is put as C, but actually we can add B and then C, and then you can do the same. But your our if should be if it's this, but you have to define your code first, and then you can add if more here, and then our if, and then our if will be, I can just copy this and change all the C to B. Okay, now B for land use puzzle. Okay, different type of land use. All right, and then we will go to the next one, which is next question. So how would you format a complex condition statement? Write the code to find employees over 50 who are retired if their age is stored in a file named current age, and the field noting retirement status as a true/false field named status retirement. So, okay. Oopsies. Okay. So for this one, we could say if current age is greater and equal to 50 and status retired equal to yes. Remember, we need a we need a column here. Okay, so it's combined with and. True or false. And the field noting retirement status is true or false. Yes. Okay, now where can you find more Python methods that deal with string and numeric variables? Write code to find all the employees with a last name containing more than 10 characteristics if their last names are stored in a field named last name, or else it will not fit on the new engraved name tags. So now we do have if length equals to last name is greater than 10. We have a 10 and semicolon, and then we will print that no name tag can be ordered. Okay, so you just say the length. So length equals last name greater than 10. All right, so we're not going to loops yet. So what we're gonna do is we will study maps. We're going to continue for tutorial 1.3. So for tutorial 1.3 is using Python in the field calculator. Snippets of Python code can be used in the field calculator to perform complex functions, including any of the text formatting commands shown in the label expression dialog box. So now our learning objective is text formatting with Python using Python code blocks, concatenating text values. So now the first tutorial we did use Python code to alter the labeling in an ArcMap document, and we did solve one issue is to change our settings. This labeling made the map look great, but remember that the challenges occurred only in the label and were not stored anywhere permanently. To make a more permanent change to the data, we can use Python to calculate the values in the fields. We would normally use the field calculator and a simple expression to set a field value, but there are limits to what you can accomplish with the simple expressions that are allowed. By using Python code in the field calculator, we can store the results for future use by ourselves and others. So the scenario is we receive some data from the fire department, and it would like you to format the addresses so that its analyst can geocode them and make a simple presentation map. To do the geocoding, the address needs to be a single field, and right now that information is parsed out into 5 fields. We must write an expression in the field calculator to create a single address with the components in the right sequence and without extra spaces. So now we are provided a name, fire runs 2010 with a calls for service, data from the Oleander Fire Department. The file contains a variety data about the type of call, the time was received and dispatched, and which unit responded. The file also contains address information that has been split into 5 fields: address number, street prefix, street name, street type, street suffix, direction. Now we use the field in the field calculator. We're going to write pseudo code to describe the process for formatting the field value and store the result. Concatenate the values for address number, street prefix, street name, street type, and a street suffix direction into a single value. And we have to store this value in the empty field full underscore address. Now we are on our ArcMap and we open this tutorial, and we're going to switch the list by source view. So, which is this one, list by source view. In the table of context, we're going to open file runs 2010 table, and which is this one, and right click the field full of address and click the field calculator. So open and full of address and field calculator. A warning right here is the warning about editing outside an added session appears. We're going to continue say yes. We're about to calculate outside added session. This method is faster than calculating an added session, but there is no way to undo your results once the calculation begins. We wish to continue, yes. And now we could do is we could change it into Python here. So it can be dangerous to edit outside an added session in ArcMap because there is no undo option. So if you made a mistake, it is permanent. In this case, we are populating an empty field, so there is no risk of destroying any critical data by calculating the field. And now in the parse box, we clicked Python, and below the field list, we're going to select Show Code Block checkbox. And in the parser box below, click Python with it and show check code block checkbox. So in the expression box, we will create a name for the function. So we create a name for the function such as function address, and write the Python code to perform the operation. Name here can be anything you like, but standard convention is to start functions with a lowercase fn to identify their types and add a descriptive name in uppercase. Now, in the expression box under full address, we're going to type here function name and double click the field names to enter them. Be sure to add commas between the field names. So I have to find its function address fn. Okay. Full address fn address. Well, do I have fn address? Math, okay. This number, okay, I think I'll just type in. So we have, okay, we have fn address. Okay, now we have number, comma, street prefix, comma, street, comma, street type. Oh, I don't have to do anything. Okay. Number, comma, prefix, comma, street type, comma, street fixed direction, comma, no comma, parenthesis. And we did double click the field names to add them to the function, so it automatically placed the proper characters around the field name, the exclamation mark. This may be quotation marks, exclamation points, or square brackets, among others, depending on the data source. Oh, that's good to know. So it might be quotation mark, exclamation points, or square brackets, and among others. But now we have exclamation mark. So it is hard to know exactly which characters will be needed. So using the double click method ensures that the correct characters are used. So now in the pre-logic script, oh my god. Okay. This is full address. Okay. Now here, I will say define function address. Then I will have a add number, street prefix, street name, street type, server direction. Okay, and then I put a column there. So this defines a function named function address and accepts each of the fields listed in the expression box. So note, this is the format for all code that we will ever write in the field calculator. The label expression dialog box names a function, followed by all the fields that will be used in the script. Then the pre-logic script code defines the function beginning with def and accepts each of the fields into a Python variable that you name. And now we write the Python code to format and concatenate the fields into a single string. Remember to count for a space between the values. When we have the code entered, we click OK to perform the calculation. So if we have difficulties, we will check the code against the graphic, but try writing the code on your own first. So, alright, we have this, and we will put them together and add a space, and then return format. So, we do have this. Okay. Pre-logic. Okay. Alright. Want to format address equals, we convert it to string, add okay.